Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Today, let us understand the results of Mercury being combust. Usually, Mercury doesn't get combust, but a very small span. Personally, I take 3 degrees as combustion for Mercury from Sun. Combustion means when a planet glows very close to Sun. But Mercury and Venus have some peculiarities here because both Mercury and Venus are inner planets, that is, planets which are in between, orbiting in between the orbit of Earth to Sun. So that means if this is Sun, so Mercury is close to Sun, and then there is Venus, and then there is Earth. So Mercury, Venus, and then Earth. So the orbits of Venus and Mercury are within the orbit of Earth. So what actually happens is, in most of the times, Mercury, when it is retro, it is in between Sun and Earth. So not like regular other outer Saturnine planets, not Saturnine planets, outer planets like Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. When they are retro, that's a different issue. That is, Earth is in between Sun and that planet. But here, what actually happens is, when the outer planets like Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are combust, they will never be retro. They will be behind Sun. So the strength of those planets like Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will get sucked up by Sun because it's behind Sun. But here, scientifically speaking, when Mercury is in between Sun and Earth, if it is in between, so that means Mercury's rays, one half of it is still towards Earth. So a retro Mercury is a different issue when it is combust. So let us not, I'm not touching that now. I'm just talking about Mercury when it is combust. So we all know the characteristics of Mercury. Mercury means intelligence, seeking, that is going for research, curiosity, manipulation, cunningness, witty, having a brilliant mindset, tactful intelligence, that is, on that particular moment, what should a person do for a particular situation? That is chitta pragna, that is very fast thinking of what I should do. So, like, people reacting to certain decisions, taking sudden decisions, like taking fast decisions, let us say, not delaying it. So that is Mercury. Confidence in communication, business mindset. Mercury also means those neurological connections between in the mind, in the brain. So the neurological connections, millions and billions and trillions of them, lot of connections, and these connections actually are our memory power. They hold the memory, whatever we have seen all these years, our experiences, our learning, our you know situations, everything goes into the mind. So this is our memory. So the capacity of the memory depends on the well-being of Mercury in the chart. So going blank, students nowadays go blank when they go to the examination hall. They are like that. The whole year I have studied and suddenly I am going blank. I don't know what actually happened. I don't know why I am not able to write. I'm not getting those answers back. I'm going blank. So why that actually happens is because when Mercury gets combust. So let me go through each and every point and then relate it with regard to combustion, because intelligence, that is regular intelligence, the skill, when it is combust, becomes half, goes by half. Calculations, looking young, they actually start looking older because it is combust. The hair will become faster. The grain starts faster. So I'm not combust. I don't have a Mercury combust, but I have a Saturn which is retro, which is aspecting the ascendant. That also provides faster gray hairing, graying of the hair. So let's not go there. I'll come to retrogression of planets later, and that too with full detailed analysis of retrogression of planets. That is very much required because people have to understand it better before doing any predictions. So intelligence goes by half, the seeking dies. When Mercury becomes combust, the seeking, like I want to go deep into research, I want to do something, I want to achieve something, the commitment, that goes by half. That is, if it is 100%, it goes to 50%. So grasping, we earlier when I was learning Vedas from my teacher, he would always say that many times when I tell it once, you immediately repeat it correctly. You are a Ekasandigrahi. Then I was thinking, what is Ekasandigrahi? I did not know anything about Sanskrit. So I would ask him, what is Ekasandigrahi? Then he told me that a person who can understand something the first time is called Ekasandigrahi. He told me, you are not Ekasandigrahi, but sometimes you suddenly take it, you catch that thing very fast. So that is because of Mercury. If Mercury is strong, you can chant, study, learn, grasp things very fast. So for grasping, nowadays children need that. They need that focus, the commitment, the concentration on mathematics or physics or any other subject which is technically difficult to understand. So they need that grasping power, which is because of Mercury. And we all know that there are many medicines on in the market, off the shelf. You can buy them, and they promise that you will get good, memory power and all these things. But with all that, I would tell you, as a remedial measure for a combust Mercury, do yoga, do pranayama. The best exercise for grasping power and memory is pranayama, which is good for the brain because the blood circulates and that is good for the brain activity. And good sleep is required. Mind it, the brain requires rest. You over pressure it, the brain will start crying. So do not unnecessarily overdo anything. Sleep when you have to sleep at night. So depriving the brain its good sleep activity will be depriving you tomorrow's normal activity at daytime. So sleep well at night. 8 hours of sleep is to be ensured. Get up early in the morning, see the sunrise. So Buddha, Surya, all these are important for focus, concentration, and memory power. So if people would want to do IAS, but they have a combust Mercury, mind it, you have to sleep well, you have to get up in the morning, go for a walk, do your yoga and pranayama, and then even once you study a subject, it will directly go into your brain. You don't have to keep on repeating, continuously repeating your studies. So, business mindset. People will suddenly lose the interest in their business. That is because they enter into the Mercury, period, the Mercury Dasha. So a combust Mercury is not good for a good business mind. So there are many other things like skin, like youthfulness, looking good, all these things. And also the most important thing which I was trying to tell about Mercury is the effort of seeking, that is going into research, seeking for knowledge. So people who stop seeking is as good as they have become old. There is no age to stop studying. If you are learning, you are a learner. Nobody is a professor in this world who has achieved everything in this world. So we are all students. So the people who think that they are students and they want to study will not have a combust Mercury. If you have a combust Mercury and if you do not want this thing to die, that you need to be a student, you need to be a young eligible student throughout your life, then you need to keep Mercury alive 100%. Now it has gone 50% down because it is combust. So Mercury also means maternal uncle. That is what we call in Hindi as mama. So combust Mercury in a chart indicates difficulty to the maternal uncle. And also Mercury combust, that means sun is also along with it. So the Buddha Aditya Yoga, people have a misunderstanding that when they see Buddha and Aditya, that is sun and Mercury together in a house, they feel that there is Buddha Aditya Yoga. That's going to satisfy all our needs in our life. So it's not like that. When Mercury is combust, where is the yoga? Where is the yoga when Mercury is within 3 degrees from Sun? Like, for example, if Sun is at 27 degrees in any given Rashi, if Mercury is at 29 degrees or at 25th degree of that Rashi, then Mercury is combust. So, where is the fact that there is Buddha Aditya Yoga? There is no Buddha Aditya Yoga in any respect. See, in the book, they would have given that Mercury and Sun very close to each other in the same Rashi or in the same house would give Buddhaditya Yoga. Fine, that is correct. But you should also understand, when does the yoga get cancelled? Buddhaditya Yoga will get cancelled when Mercury gets combust. Very simple. So, people should understand that Mercury will give its full potential, that a person can become a mathematician, the communication, there will be no stammering, there will be no difficulty in flow of language if Mercury is not combust. If Mercury is combust and along with Rahu, then there will be a lot of difficulty. Sun, Rahu, Mercury combination is not good for flow of good communication, or stammering, or we also have nowadays it's autism, which actually has come. The name has been given. It was there from many thousands of years, but autism, the name has been given now. And there's one more thing known as attention deficiency, and there is also what is known as neurological problems. So if a person has to be healthy and if he has no problems, so that means that Mercury is well placed. If the person has neurological problems and if he has difficulty in communication, please check the degree between Mercury and Sun and also see where Rahu is placed. So if Mercury is combust, then give him the best remedial measure for combust Mercury is yogasana, practicing yoga and practicing pranayama continuously throughout his life early in the morning. That will save a lot. So thank you very much for today's class. I hope I have covered a very small portion of what happens when Mercury is combust.